Hi, and welcome to the MyConsultant.ca show. I'm Sarah Ostapchuk.
And I'm Joshua Pantellaresco.
And we're here to help you with the Canadian immigration process. This show is designed to be a brief way to inform you on Canadian immigration news headlines, immigration policy and program concepts, and introduce you to industry experts. We're doing things a little bit differently this week, right, Josh?
Yes, we are. Normally, folks, there would be segments to follow the headlines this week, but due to the number of headlines we've got in the last 7 days, we decided that this week would be more of a traditional news show, hence why I'm dressed up the way I am. Beyond that, though, there will be no segments this week. This will just be headlines.
That's right. Let's jump right into the news.
This week, we have a PNP Bonanza. Multiple provinces have been inviting candidates throughout the last 2 weeks for provincial applications. First off, on November 24th, the province of Alberta invited 100 express entry candidates to apply for a provincial nomination. This is one of the smaller draws of the year, as Alberta also had a very high requirement score of 350 to pass this nomination. It is the second highest score requirement of the province, with the highest being 360. British Columbia continued inviting PNP candidates. This last draw invited 318 potential candidates through 2 separate draws through the British Columbia Provincial Nominee Program. Candidates from both the Express Entry Program and Skills Immigration Programs were considered. The majority of these new invitations, 267 of them to be precise, were sent through a general draw. Virtually every category in the PNP program got some form of invitation as a result of this draw, and these draws have been a part of BC's PNP draws have been occurring regularly twice a month since February of this year. This last draw took place on December 7th, but the biggest draw by far was Ontario, also on December 7th. Ontario pulled the largest of these draws by inviting 1,186 immigration candidates to apply for the provincial nomination, with foreign, international students, and skilled labor streams being the target streams to pull these candidates from. This year, Ontario had set a target goal of 8,300 candidates for the calendar year for people to come to Canada. As of this recording, that number sits at 8,600. This province has already called the federal government to double the number of candidates allotted to the province for next year. With the new Working for Workers Act in place, expect to see Ontario become more aggressive in recruiting immigrants in 2022.
Those are some huge numbers coming out of Ontario.
Yeah, they were silent pretty much the whole time we've been doing this, and all of a sudden it's like, boom, 1,000 people. That's more than the other two combined.
Yeah, it's a little surprising considering it's a very populated province, but then again, they have the resources because they're so populated, I suppose.
Well, it depends on which part of the province you're talking about, though. Like,
That's
if you're talking
true.
about southwestern Ontario, you're absolutely correct. It's very, very crowded there. But talking
Mm-hmm.
about northern Ontario, not so much. There are still giant forests, the Canadian Shield. A lot of people, once you get past Thunder Bay, not a lot of people live up there.
No, for sure. There has been a new Saskatchewan pilot program announced. It has been announced on November 25th, and it will be launched this December, and it is called the Hard to Fill Skills Pilot Project. It falls under the SNIP, which is the PNP for Saskatchewan, and it is also why I have been sporting my Saskatchewan mug all episode long. This program is meant to be a way for employers to recruit internationally for positions that have not been filled domestically. And these industries include health, manufacturing, agriculture, agriculture technology, construction, hospitality, and retail. And like all PNP streams, there are requirements. So in order to be eligible to apply, you must obtain a job offer from a registered Saskatchewan employer, as well as an SNIP job approval letter. You must meet Canadian official language proficiency levels and the minimum education and work requirements, which includes a year of experience in the field abroad or 6 months of experience in the province of Saskatchewan.
So it seems to me that there are a lot of programs kind of opening up in Saskatchewan for bringing immigrants into the country.
Yeah, this is, I guess, not a huge surprise considering the labor shortages going on in the province. And I think that labor shortages aren't unique in general to Saskatchewan. I think they're happening in a lot of places right now. But the industries I think that they're happening in are unique to Saskatchewan, which is why it's nice that the federal government has given them space to fill these shortages in the ways that they know best, because who knows Saskatchewan better than, the Saskatchewan government?
Maybe the Saskatchewan people, but that's about it. So
They elect the Saskatchewan government. So there you go.
there you go. There you go. And finally, Canada welcomed 265 Afghan NATO employees and their families in Halifax, Nova Scotia on December 8th. They arrived with a warm virtual greeting from the Honourable Minister Sean Fraser of the IRCC. 100 of these new immigrants stayed in Nova Scotia, with the remainder moving to the rest of the country. They are part of the 15,000 displaced Afghan refugee total that the Government of Canada plans to invite into the country. These displaced Afghans will be added to the Canadian Resettlement Assistance Programs, as people within the country are already looking at ways of helping the refugees get settled in and start their new lives, with companies volunteering and people volunteering to help these people out. As one of the big proponents of NATO, Canada and the Honourable Sean Fraser took to helping displaced refugees very seriously. These refugees had been staying in another country until they could have been relocated here.
It's nice to see the Canadian government taking care of its own employees.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just due diligence, I think, in part, which is a good thing, but it goes to show that Canadians do take care of their own or people that work for them at the very least. And it's very unfortunate what's going on over there. But I mean, if there is one little bit of good that's coming from it, is that, I mean, when the refugees do come here, they're getting a lot of help from a lot of different places.
Right. There are a lot of resources here. I remember reading a bunch about Nova Scotia's resources as well, just for the people who landed directly in Halifax.
Yeah, Nova Scotia has an amazing resettlement program, but like I said, the rest of the countries too is helping out. Places of work are helping out. I know Ontario is helping out a lot on this one. So all in all, like, yeah, it's bad. There's no way of going around that. But at least the one bit of good is, we're there for each other in a time of need. And for those people, I mean, we're there.
So, Josh, happy early International Migrants Day.
Early International Migrants Day.
Yes, I only say early because it's on December 18th, and the first one was December 4th of 2000.
Interesting. So this is like a special day of some kind?
It is actually. It's a lot more special than all those, international pancake days and all those crazy international days. It actually has a lot of history behind it. It was the UN General Assembly that adopted the International Convention on the Protection of the Rights of All Migrants, Workers, and Members of their Families on that day.
So every worker around the world is protected. At least that's the idea of it.
It is. They put forward kind of these three ideas. The first being that migrants actually help develop growth both in the countries that they leave and the countries that they are going to, that they have rights and freedoms that need to be protected, and that though the development is there, it's not meant to replace development strategies, because if we're being honest, a lot of migrants don't leave out of choice, but they leave out of force because of war and poverty. And they're also looking for international cooperation with people who are trying to migrate.
Which is very important because everybody at some point needs help. And no matter where you are and where you go.
Yeah, I think it's a really important day to recognize, especially on a show like this. It affects a lot of people, and I think it shows that there are people who not only care about migrants, but who need migrants. They're a huge part of the economy.
Then I guess there's only one thing left to say from all of us here at MyConsultant.ca. I guess you better say this because I might lose my place here. From all of us, sorry.
Happy International Migrants Day. Is that what we're saying?
That's what we're doing. Happy International Migrants Day to everybody watching this show.
That's right.
And that will do it for this special edition of the MyConsultant.ca show. For more information about the topics covered in this show, please visit MyConsultant.ca, where you can explore up-to-date news on important issues, read in-depth articles explaining immigration and citizenship, and seek answers to your most pressing questions from a vibrant community of authorized immigration and citizenship consultants. Also, make sure to check out the LinkedIn page for MyConsultant.ca. Until next week, everybody, I'm Joshua Pantelleresco.
And I'm Sarah Ostapchuk.
Aiding and assisting you to come to Canada.
Have a great week.